Hey there, y'all. I'm Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, the best place to be on a Monday night on YouTube for cocktails and conversation. Hanging out behind the scenes, I have the one, the only button pusher, David the producer.
Happy MLK. How you doing?
All good. How you doing, David the producer?
It's great because I had the day off. So
I know.
life is good.
Well, I have every day off. I'm a writer. I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
Well, this is true. Since day one.
Since day one. So awesome news, y'all. We're going early, a little bit earlier tonight, if that made any sense whatsoever, which it did not, because I have a very special guest joining us. So if you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because if you're on Facebook, I can't see you. Come on over to YouTube, hang out with me and comedian Geno Bisconte.
Hey, are we hanging out?
We are.
How are you?
Okay, because I could put in the headset I'm told to use sometimes. I'm just lazy. Would it be better if I put these in? Does that make a difference?
We can hear you great.
Yeah, you sound great as long as you can hear us.
Watch this. I'm going to do this for 1 sec. Does that make any difference?
Yeah, you have something hanging out of your ear now. Other than that, no.
Okay, then I'm taking it out just because I feel it's all natural. How are you guys? It's so good to be here. I adore you two.
I know, we love you too.
No, I'm a terrible person. You're good people. I'm everything wrong with the world. But yeah, go on. More about me.
I want to know how Geno celebrated MLK today.
Well, I was lucky enough to just spend the day celebrating MLK by doing In Hot Water over on Compound Media and just making fun of how insane the world has become. But they did show, because our show is so dumb. And
please, Geno.
I know you're familiar with it, but it's on, and it's so dumb. We literally said, "Oh my God, it's MLK Day. What a great man!" And we said all that. Now let's show a clip of his speech, and we showed a clip of his speech, but then we dubbed in people booing during his speech, which is stupid.
You are horrible people.
Dumb, but that's our brilliant stupidity in a nutshell. If you listen to one of the greatest speeches in the history of this country, and then listen to a guy dubbing booing, and you're like, well, they hate blacks, then you're dumb, and you miss how funny the stupidity of having a guy up. And one of the clips was a guy yelling, boo, you suck, after everything MLK said, which is hysterical. It's so dumb, and it's so hysterical. And our fans love it because they get how dumb it is. But other people are like, well, they just hate everyone. No, it's so stupid. So that, David, is how we celebrate it. Thank you for asking.
So stupid that it's fabulous. I love it.
I will say this also. I celebrated by drinking whiskey with my dear friend Kevin Dombrowski, a fantastic comedian, that I left at his place. So now I'm left to drink wine with you fucking people. How are you guys holding up 24 hours after your boy Drew Brees didn't give a fuck about my money? How are you guys holding up?
Last night in the French Quarter was miserable. It started out great. There was cheering, there was drinking, and by the end of the night, I believe there were more rapes and murders in the Quarter than there have been in the past 5 years. So
just say you had a great time. You don't have to give all this backstory, honey.
Stop bragging.
Sorry. I was excited to rape and pillage.
Yeah. Well, we spent our MLK today. Well, and it feels like just yesterday we would put up the MLK tree. So, there's that.
You guys have a tree for it? I didn't even know there was a thing.
No, it's not
don't.
a thing. No. We've been drinking, of course.
So, Geno, we invited you on for a very specific reason. We have a little game that we like to play. It's called This or That. And David, the producer, has put together a whole bunch of things, and he's going to force you and I to choose between one of them.
Oh, I love it already. Please. I don't know how. Okay, go on.
Okay, so I'm going to pick two things. You have to choose between them, but not only do you have to pick them, you have to defend your answer. You ready?
And I don't know any of these in advance, by the way. David has been working diligently on them, and I'm a little afraid because I heard him giggling to himself all day long.
Well, let the record show, as long as you've worked with Dave, you've never used that name and diligently in the same sentence. I'm excited about that alone.
He's very diligent about a lot of things.
Whatever lies you need to tell yourself, sweetie. Go on, diligent Dave. Go on. Here we go.
All right, I'm going to start off real easy. We'll start off smooth, and then we'll get into a little bit more what I'll call interesting topics.
Colorful.
First one, and I'm going to start with Geno since he's our guest. Shaved or unshaved?
Shaved, without a doubt. Shaved. I should even be shaved, but I have 8 extra jaws under my jowls. So I'm going to say shaved without a doubt.
I wasn't talking you.
God damn it.
Well, I like
it. 0 for 1.
No, it's always shaved. Actually, you have to be shaved at all times. Everybody does. I think the less hair, the better.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Juliette. I could see if it was like decades ago when we were still living in caves and we need to protect ourselves with warmth. But yeah, we have a little thing called now clothing where, yeah, you don't have to be shaved for obvious reasons. But yeah, unshaved.
Good choice.
All right, and you're going with shaved.
Oh, I'm going shaved. Yeah, everything. Bare, totally. Baby clean.
Baby clean. Oh,
let her keep talking.
That got a little creeper.
I know. I just made it creepy, didn't I?
And she just for every dude listening, please keep this. Come on, Juliette. What else? Totally shaved. Unshaved. Come on.
Oh, yes.
I'm asking so little here.
Squeaky clean.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And just for the record, I'm like a Ken doll. All right. So on to the next one.
Ew.
Neat cocktail versus rocks.
Wait, what are the 2 choices again, David?
Neat cocktail or rocks. In other words, do you drink your whiskey with ice or without?
Why is it called a meat cocktail?
Neat, not meat.
Who doesn't dip their meat in their cocktail at least once a week?
Why don't you say meat versus rocks? It sounded like he said meat cocktail. Now, I might be having my own little fucking diversion here, but Juliette didn't like shy away. She's like, you're telling me about a good meat cocktail. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Always shaven with a meat cocktail. Yeah. Yes.
Shaven with a meat cocktail.
Yes.
Are you asking me first? Because I would always go. I would go neat. And here's why. And it never I like it neat. I do. I like the flavor of the whiskey. And there's some whiskeys which taste better or bourbons over rocks, which is fine. But I find the ones that taste better over rocks are delicious over rocks. But the ones that taste great neat are great neat whether they're on rocks or not. So if it can be served neat, it's gold.
Absolutely. Well, yeah,
I feel like rocks, that's a different thing, right?
I think rocks get in the way of the booze that I'm drinking. I want to taste it. I don't want to taste the ice. I don't want to taste water. I just want something that's full of flavor.
People on your cocktails. See, which is and Bahana gets, and that's a good point, but let me ask you, it's like sometimes if you want to slow it down, the rocks are good, but if I put I'll tell you this, we're very lucky with our show In Hot Water. Thank you for putting it beneath me. We have fans that send us shit, and they sent me for my birthday, which was, you just had a birthday, right? Or am I crazy? You just had a birthday?
It's coming up.
It's coming up. It's the same thing. I knew I saw. But for my birthday, someone sent the show, and this is so above my pay grade, Johnny Walker Blue. They sent us
Whoa.
Yeah. Nice. Whoa is exactly right. And I drank it, and it's delicious. Whether you do the shot or you sip it over ice, whatever. Okay. But I'm not saying I'm garbage, but it's barely negligible for me and my palate between that and Jameson, which I adore, or a good Knob Creek. Thank you. So that's fine. But when push comes to shove, as long as I can just chug it, sip it, whatever, without any hint of ice, that's what makes it what it is, per se.
And when I said neat cocktail, I didn't mean out of a paper bag. I just want to be clear.
Well, it's a little late to try and specify now, Dave.
No, we're above and beyond that now. But
it's still past us.
All right, on to the next one. We have Scorsese versus Tarantino, Geno.
I am going to go, believe it or not, with Tarantino just because Scorsese is legendary. I'm not arguing with that. Not trying to say which one's better, but I'm saying which one relates to me more and when I started watching movies more and which director I can quote and point to more, and that would be Tarantino. It would be, you know. Do I look like I have a sign that said "Dead Nigger Storage"? Just wanted to get away with it. Just wanted to sneak one in. Thank you. Juliette gets it. Thank you. First person ever to say "nigger please" was Thomas Jefferson on his eHarmony profile. But okay, thanks again. It's a very clever joke. It's very clever. And if you're offended by that, then you're letting words frighten you out of laughter. But my point is, I'd say Tarantino, but I did get 2 N-bombs in just out of that option. What do you think? What? But it is. He's great. Come on.
I think you're wrong, not about the jokes, but about Tarantino. The guy is
funnier than me, and I've gotten past. I'm used to this, but go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're so cute. No, Tarantino is just long-winded. He doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
You're right.
If you listen to the dialogue in his movies, it is just asinine, and it doesn't progress the story. It just sits there like it's like a meat cocktail. There's way too much going on in there. I would much rather watch
or meat again. Are we doing the meat, or did you say meat there? I swear to God, I thought she said meat again.
She did say meat.
I said meat. Yeah, he's shoving everything.
I'm sorry.
He's shoving everything into a glass, and it doesn't need to be in there. I would much rather watch Scorsese, where things are far more clean cut, where he's got a great story, he's got great characters, and he doesn't need all the exposition to go along with it.
Sure.
Boy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you pick.
Because Tarantino annoys me. Plus, he puts himself in every fucking movie that he does, and he cannot act to save his life.
But isn't that part of the charm? He really can't. And again, I'm telling you, the great actor I am. But that's when he's in the movie and he's terrible at the acting. Like, that's the thing. Do I have a sign that says he's terrible? He's terrible at it, and it's hysterical in a way.
Oh, Geno, have you seen Juliette's acting?
Oh, fuck you.
Here you go.
How do you currently pay for your dental care?
If anything big happened, I'd have a real problem.
We had to pay our last big bill over time. And we're still paying.
Sound
That kid was like, "This is not my mom. This is not my mother. This is not my mother." That's fantastic. Where is that? Is that local, or can we only?
No, it's a national spot. Oh yeah,
that's a national spot. Yeah, it airs at about 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, when you're out buying your whiskey and dildos, you can absolutely catch that on the tube.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay up for that. That's incredible. That's currently running.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now it's one of those things where now I'm going to say it and we're like, "Oh my God," you're going to get a text at 3 a.m. I'm like, "Oh my God,
it's Debbie.
I just finished on my ankle socks." Dave's going to be like, I don't need this now. I don't. I don't.
Wow. You know what, David, the producer, you're sleeping alone tonight.
And welcome to my world.
The guy's working his ass off. Come on now.
Oh, he's not doing anything back there.
All right, I have the next one for Geno, and this is the Chargers versus Geno's money, because you can't have both.
Well, obviously, it's the Chargers because they're the only ones that exist when it comes to my. They don't give a fuck about my money, and now they're like, "Oh, we've got the best quarterback in the world. Let's hire a defensive coordinator." They don't give a fuck. They don't give. But they, if I had to pick one between my money and the Chargers, I'm going to take the Chargers because I'd like to think they'll still be around next year. Can we say that? Because I've made bad investments based on them.
Yeah, I saw a couple comments go by in the chat, people saying, well, Geno's broke, so obviously I can't choose Geno's money.
You can't listen to those people. That's from some podcast, which is awful. But I will say this, which is hilarious to us. We do a show called In Hot Water, and there's a guy called Frankie McDonald, who I never heard of, and he's this famous autistic guy in Newfoundland or whatever. And last week I'm making fun of him because it's like, well, it's a half-hour difference. I'm like, there's no such thing as a half-hour time zone. And sure enough, there is. And I didn't know. So I'm making fun of a guy saying this retard, and I'm the idiot. And secondly, we picked the 4 playoff games this weekend, and we picked them heads up and against the spread. I went 1-3 against the Vegas spread. He went 3-1, and just picking the winner heads up, he went 4-0. So again, I don't know what I'm doing. So maybe I am the idiot. That's the beauty of gambling, right there.
All I got out of that is that there's a time zone that's a half hour different from us.
Did you know that? I didn't know
had no
that,
idea.
Juliette. Yeah, have it. Like there's 15-minute ones in Iraq or something. It's not the way God wanted this world. Come on now. That makes none.
No, my world is crumbling around me now. I'm very confused. Where is this place? Is it on a
Well,
map?
apparently Newfoundland is the place. That's
Jesus.
where it goes on in Newfoundland as far as we know.
Well, we can't trust them, clearly.
No, I wouldn't trust them at all, no.
All right, Gina. Well, we want to make you some money.
here we go.
And this is a very important thing too, because I already have one on order. I haven't gotten it yet, only because I just ordered it. But we want to show this right here. This right here.
The fabulous T-shirt.
The fabulous T-shirt. If anyone wants, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put on the banner below. You got to go to. It is In Hot Water Store. I'm going to put it on the ticker below. So
InHotWaterStore.com. Am I right?
That's right. InHotWaterStore.com. You can get all the IHW merchandise there, but more importantly, my favorite damn T-shirt of all damn time. And I got to highlight this and actually make it bigger because this is the funniest damn thing I've ever heard in my life.
By the way, here's the thing. If you zoom in on the face, I'm the sheep. It's the glasses with the headband. Yeah, the guy that made it, our buddy Matt Miller, because I kept saying COVID is the flu with a better publicist. He made that, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm sending stickers. Like I'm swamped sending stickers out to people with all these things. They're like, oh, but it's like, they're like, how much do they cost? I'm like, DM me your address. I don't ask them for any money. I send them the stickers, and then they're like, we want a T-shirt. So they made the T-shirt. Sorry to interrupt you, David.
No, it is the funniest damn T-shirt. I didn't know whether to go with the hoodie or go with the T-shirt. I'm more of a T-shirt guy a cheap son of a bitch. So
yeah, well, you can't go wrong with either. But it's so funny because people get so mad. It's like, look, I don't care what you believe. I'm not trying to sell you on it. I just honestly believe that, like, look, it's bad. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. COVID's a really bad flu for some people. But for the most part, it's just bullshit that you get it, you beat it, and you walk away. They're like, no. And they're using it to scare the world. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to win. But it is. To me, it's the flu with a better publicist. That's
Gino,
all.
the best part of that is it's just a damn good joke.
Oh, it's brilliant. It really is. And it's dumb, but it is. Thank you, David.
Absolutely.
Not as good as the joke as the time we did the show in fucking Chicago and you two came out, you and Juliette came out, and I'm hammered. And is it still up? Hold on.
Oh, I hope it is. I hope it is.
Watch this. If I can fucking pull this without. Like, I got so drunk with you two, which let me tell your listeners who have no idea, that's not a blast at all. I got so drunk, and we got hammered in, and I come back, and this is on the back. This is on the back of my fucking shirt. After a fucking flight from Chicago, hammered, they're like, why does it say the Unrunnable Rant? I'm like, and I pull it off. I'm like, son of a bitch. I traveled, but oh my God, how much fun was that? We got obliterated.
Oh my God.
And
what a great show.
Like a day and a half later, it was the best.
You and Berg Live is so damn funny.
You guys are the best.
Oh my God. And I hope you guys end up doing shows again real soon. I know that you've done a few here and there, but my God, this whole comedy thing has got to get back to where it was.
But let me interrupt you to pay us all a compliment, yourselves included, for what you're doing. Like, the world's nuts, but it really is, it makes you realize, like, if you're good at what you do, it takes care of itself. And we were lucky enough to hang out with you guys, and we're sitting there, and no one's like, oh, we're just doing a show. Like, we're looking at each other like, how great is this? And we're doing shots upon shots.
Passing a bottle around between everybody. It was fantastic.
And it just makes you realize, like, for all the people that are doing to make you afraid of the world and, like, shutting down and doing whatever, like, if you really like what you do, like us, you're like, it works. It just works, you know? And every time I walk by that thing, I giggle. I'm like, motherfucker. But it was sort of like, what's on your back? And I pull it off. And I should be mad, but I sit there like this, look at this thing. I'm like, I'm the coolest man that's ever lived. You know what I mean? Because our friends are the best. You guys are the best. We're all idiots.
You have a show coming up in Atlantic City, don't you?
We do. We're very lucky. We do the Comedians of the Compound, which we did in Chicago and Cleveland, like we're talking about from hanging out with you guys. But we're doing one this weekend in Atlantic City, and it's me and Aaron, of course, from In Hot Water, and the boss, Anthony Cumia from the Cumia Show, and John
Anthony's
James.
coming out for it.
What's that?
Anthony's coming out for it?
Anthony, he is so good to us. He's coming out, and look, let me tell you something. Like me and Aaron, our show In Hot Water is great, but we're not insane. We know like 90% of the draws because they come for Cumia. They see our show like these guys are great too. So he comes out, draws. It's such a great cross promotion. So he's there. Me and Aaron, Don Jameson from his show. It is just a fun fucking night, and we're doing it. It's 3 shows. We might add a 4th because it's been so busy. 2 on Saturday, 1 on Friday as of now. Maybe we had a live podcast, and it's just absolutely a blast. We're doing one in Pennsylvania soon, and we're actually doing one in Austin, Texas, I believe in April or mid-May.
Oh, we might
cool.
have to come out for that.
For Austin?
Yeah.
You have to go. I will give you the deets.
Yeah.
Everything, we got comms for you. You two have to come out.
Don't worry
only
about
to put another
comms. We
sticker
want to
on my
support
back.
comedy
Come on,
like
man.
everyone
I asked
should,
a
man.
little.
Well, at the very least, at some point, we got to get you out to New Orleans because I need to have you drinking out here so we can sell you to either a kidney transplant donation center or
Voodoo
some
shop.
Voodoo, yes. Yeah, we have plans for you.
I don't think I have to tell you two. Trust me. As soon as I get to New Orleans, because I got to start traveling. You guys are the top. It's like I'm only calling you. I'm like, I'm on my way. Where are you staying? I have bad news for you two. Right there next to the Knob Creek bottle is where I'll be passed out.
Hey, we have a spare room. So anytime you want to come by, you absolutely, well, you're not going to get a fucking key, but you will be let in.
We will let you in at least once. So you got
You
that.
guys know you're at the top of we have to make that happen. But that's the other thing that I honestly believe comes out of all this insanity, with what they're trying to sell us with the shutting the world down. Like the real creators, for lack of a better word, or if I may over-exaggerate, we take care of our own, and we're seeking each other out, and it's never been a better time for people like us that are like, look, I don't remember 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, Jules and Dave, where you're like, how am I ever going to get on TV? I don't fit in. And now it's like TV's dead. And they're like, how did you guys do what you're doing? Well, we didn't chase the tree that you try to bark up the shit tree you were doing. We did our thing and suddenly we're doing well. It's incredible. You know what I mean?
Well, I love how resourceful it's made people. Now anybody can do what they want to do, and they have to find new ways to do it, new ways to get out there. I think that's incredible. It's been tremendous for musicians, especially.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have another question because this is something that's actually very close to you because you're going to be doing one tonight, which is parking lot comedy versus Zoom comedy.
We'll give another shout out to my dear friend Aaron Berg, who I do In Hot Water with, who did all these things. I'm like, this is not what I want to do. And before I answer, let me say this, which is another reason people jokingly call me tinfoil hat Geno, because it's like, they do though. Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you. I'm going to wear the sticker on my back this week just to make you, fuck you, Dave. You see my face. I don't like you at all. You're not one of the greatest. Fuck. Here's why they call me that, though, because it's like you can't convince me that laughter, it physically heals you. It's so good for you. And if you believe in the deep state or whatever you want to call it, they want to control you through fear. And people that are laughing aren't afraid. So they take laughter from you and they make you do these insane comedy shows at best where you're in a parking lot or at a movie theater with beeping horns or on a Zoom show talking to little boxes. But if I had to choose between either, I would take the Zoom show just because the Zoom shows, at least you see the faces, can hear the noise and feel that energy, but nothing will ever replace the energy of being in a comedy club, of being at, you guys came to see us at, where was it? I know it was Chicago. Why can't I think of that little dive bar room?
I don't remember either. Somewhere on the north side. It was just a little dive bar
that we had never even been on.
I can't think of the name, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was such
No. But they were so cool.
So fun. Remember how much fun it was?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the people there. Well, first of all, your audience are awesome people. We ended up making friends there that we still talk to today.
You know everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. And it makes you just be like we say it all the time about our show. Like, there's no one better than our fans, but our fans are like our friends, and we're just so lucky. And we had a show today where the callers are making me laugh. I gotta believe harder than I've ever made them laugh. Just the shit they say, and you're like, come on. And I feel like, getting back to your question, which you choose, they're taking all of it from is because they're making us do it this way. But if I had to choose one, I would choose the Zoom for now because that's what I'm doing more, and that's helping me work on my set, so to speak. But like, the parking lot shows, when you say that, it's like you're doing it to a car flashing its lights, and it's just like, it makes me angry that they've taken this from us. I'm not saying I'm right. In fact, I'm saying I know I'm not right, but that's how I feel.
I was actually originally going to say parking lot because it would put me as an audience member in front of a live situation. However, after hearing you talk about it, I've never actually watched a comedy show on Zoom, but the way you describe it as being able to, more interact with the people, it seems like a better option. So I'm changing my tune.
You're going with Zoom too?
Exactly. And the thing is, like, why do you drive out to a parking lot and not be able to sit in the energy of the people? And it's one of those things that once you hear it, it's obvious. And I'm not trying to act like I'm trying to start some groundswell against it, but it's frustrating to people. It's frustrating to people like us, like live entertainers. Like, oh my God, like you two, you were at a live show. You sent me some clip of a band. I'm like, I missed the world. And you're like, hey, we're just in New Orleans. Here's a live band performing right now. We're watching. And I'm like, you motherfuckers.
You were so annoyed.
Right? But it was great.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, come out whenever you want. If you want to come out tomorrow. And I'm like, you're right, because you're watching these live entertainers. And in New York, I'm not saying it's just, you can't convince me it's not political bullshit. You can't, we got to wear a mask. You just let people live their lives. I'm going to say this, and this is insanely, it's not, but it's, to me, it's so insanely political. When you see, if they made you look at all the people that died, and people are dying, it's real, but it's old, unhealthy people, which is terrible. But oh my God, it's like, just stop shutting down the world for people that want to live their lives, for old people who, I guarantee you, and I've heard this from several people, I'm not, if you went to a retirement home, old people would be like, please let me, I didn't live 90 years so I would die home alone without seeing people. Please take off your mask so I could see your face. I'm like, no, you have, and
we're not in a zoo.
Yeah. And I'll add another thing that, again, not me, because it's all common sense. I heard someone say this and it makes so much sense because I don't have kids. I don't. But this is what these cowards, for lack of a better word, do. I have no children, but let's say that I have no children. I'm like a millennial at a supermarket and there's an earthquake. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to die? And again, this is not me, but someone said it perfectly. Put me in the same situation. Supermarket, earthquake. I'm like a 30-year-old, but I have a 5-year-old. My 5-year-old son is looking at me and they're like, oh my God, what's going on? And no matter how terrified you are, you're like this, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. You will tell your child everything's going to be fine because you're not a selfish coward that's worried about yourself. And all these people, in my opinion, from what I've heard, that's what it's like. I'm terrified. You're a coward. And if you think about the bigger picture and everyone else, you're like, it's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. We just have to let her know. And that's what I heard. And it's not one of those things where like, well, I researched it and I checked 90 websites, but that was all I needed here. It's like, and I don't have a kid. I'm like, but if I had a kid, I'd be like, it's going to be fine. And if I don't, and I'm like, Karen, be like, what do we do? That's how I look at it. I know I made the answer way too long. My point is, the Jews made up the Holocaust. That's a good one. That's not what Juliette said. She's like, hey.
No. and you know what, Geno?
Juliette, did I land it?
You landed it.
I'm going like this right now.
I'm holding up a 9. You can't see it right now.
That was spectacular.
Hey, and Geno, obviously this is not a political show, but sure. Here's what I will say. That we have seen over just the last week that a lot of people on what I'll call the left side have decided that they want to open up the economy again. So, hey, that's great news. What timing?
Yeah. It's like, are they even trying? It's like,
they're not
trying to hide it. And again, I don't care.
I know. I don't care about left or right. I really don't give a shit. It's just let us live our lives.
Exactly. I know. We all have lives. We want to get out there. I want to drink in a bar with my friends. This is all I want. It's not a big ask.
Oh, you're good at, Juliette. Me and Dave have checked. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at it too. I mean, who outdrank you?
Hey, Geno, I do have to say that in New Orleans here.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave.
No, I was just going to say in New Orleans here, we've actually seen comedians that have taken to street corners and
And
are doing
balconies.
their act on the street corner, which is both kind of cool that they're, they always find a way out here and
They
they're going to
do.
do it.
Well,
But on the other side, it's also very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it seems odd. So how does that go for them? Like, what? Let me ask you this, Dave and Julie. What have you seen from these guys? What are they doing? What have you noticed from it, for lack of a better word? What is that exactly?
Well, so here's how New Orleans is working it. And we have a little bit of an advantage, just geographically speaking, in that the way our buildings are built, it's very, compact. You can have, say, a small band or a comedian out on a balcony, and they can get a pretty big audience just randomly in the street looking up. And that's how they've been doing it. So you could be walking down, say, Royal Street or Bourbon Street, look up and see somebody on a balcony performing, and it's fantastic. And then they tie it to a Facebook page or a Venmo account where you can tip them. So it's a way to keep people working. It's different, but it's still good to see.
Good to see, but not a good experience.
Well, it's not great.
You have
Obviously,
to see
it's not
comedy
ideal.
in a dark club with the right environment, with people that are there to laugh and not that are transient, that are just walking down a street.
Or what the
right?
street performers do, which is actually kind of funny. One of them the other day in Jackson Square had a jump rope, and he took it and he kind of like laid out a little stage around himself, and he said, okay, this is my distance. I perform in the box. You guys stay outside the box. And
Right.
I mean, it's, ridiculous, but you do what you got to do.
It just seems like you can try a lot of fancy things. Sorry about that. I unplugged my thing when I showed the thing. Like, you can try a lot of fancy things, but it's just like, it's obvious when you're trying some gimmicky thing with the jumper, you're either performing or you're not.
Right.
I mean, I'm lucky enough that, and this is what I said earlier, whether you're asking or not, I just feel like I lucked into the life I had. And it's a blessing and a curse because, and I say this all the time, like, I'm so lucky to do the shit I do. Guardians of Chaos gets it. No crowd, no energy, physical energy. Like, I didn't realize how much they were fucking us for the first couple months of this because I'm lucky enough to do In Hot Water with Aaron 4 days a week. I write for radio 5 nights a week. And again, this is all shit that doesn't affect you until you're sitting in your apartment one night, 4 months in, saying, why am I paying all this rent? Oh, yeah, so I can go out every night and tell jokes. And I can't. And I'd forgotten that because I was playing by the rules for so long. And that's when there's a snap. And you're like, nah, you do want to buy the shirt, Whiskey Ass. I'm not wearing a mask because I think it's bullshit. Now, if an 80-year-old gets on the subway next to me, I'll wear one. Or if, I'm literally, I came from here. I was hanging out with my friend Kevin Dabrowski. He just had a kid, and he's like, look, his kid is fucking 3.5 months old, and let me tell you, she's gorgeous. I will walk up to children on the street, punch them in the face, then hold up her picture and be like, is this what you meant? Because your daughter's a pig. And they will let me go because
Nobody
obviously.
loves it.
But you know what I mean? It's like, I'll do that out of respect. But if I'm on the subway, and I'll say it, I'm 52. I'm 52 and I'm older than you and I feel better than you and I need to worry about your shit? No. I've had the reps. I've gotten the reps with all the flu and shit. And you're like, yeah, but you have to fuck you. I don't. Well, I'm 30. I don't care. You're a I know someone who died. I don't care. I don't care. I know plenty of people who died from actual things. Yeah, but this is really, it's not. It's the flu with a better publicist. Buy my t-shirt. But it is.
You're right.
Absolutely.
And when someone tweeted to me, not tweeted, but they put on my Facebook post under it, Geno's got to learn the hard way and get COVID. That's when it dawned on me what's going on. I don't mean in a bad way. They're like, I had COVID and it was terrible. And I don't think they're lying. So you're saying you had this and it was terrible and you live like everyone else in your age bracket that has a 99.9% chance, but it fucks you up in some. Yeah, but I don't want to get it. Too bad, you fucking pussy. Get it. Get it. Get it and be a man. Do I want to get it? No. Why don't I? Because I'm better than you and I'm not a TWAT cunt, but I'm better than you. That's SPLLING math, Juliette. But my point is, this WHORE gets it. My point is, David gets it. My point is that it's like no one, but they're like, well, you think it's fake. No one ever said COVID is fake. It's a real thing. I honestly believe it's a flu that can be really bad. And if you get it, I'm sorry. But this is, and I'll say this, it's all common sense now. And I'm not trying to make this political because I'm not. But the simple fact is, and I don't care, in 2 days, when Biden is sworn in, I will not be like the Democrats the past 4 years ago. Who's ever in office is my fucking president. But if you're telling me, excuse me 1 minute, my cat is making noise. 6 with the fucking plate, I get it. Where was I? She does. That cat could shoot up a school, and I'd be like, well, the school is wrong. She can do no wrong.
Did something to deserve
Well,
it.
you know what? You messed up my next question, which was pick Six the cat versus a real relationship.
Six the cat. She's every relationship I've had. She's an insane woman that will be so adorable. You've seen my Facebook.
Yes.
She's so affectionate. But the second any other person, especially a woman, comes to her, she's like, I'll kill you. I will kill you. She's nuts. You're nuts. But again, look at her. Look. Can you say
this is all your fault, Geno?
Six, say hi. She's insane.
Oh, that was like a shot from MTV Cribs.
She's so. Oh, wait. Let me show you the whole apartment.
I think I saw somebody tied up in a corner.
But here's my point. Simply, like when Joe Biden is, excuse me, during the debate, when Donald Trump says, which I still think this makes sense, he goes, "We've got to learn to live with COVID," which simply means everything we've said, like you get it, you survive it. And he says that, and the next thing, the counterpoint by Biden is, we've got to prepare for a cold, dark winter. And you want me to believe?
I saw in the comments, I think it was Whiskey Ace, he said, how come we don't see people keeling over in the streets right now that it's so bad? That's not happening. Nobody's passing out or dying in the streets.
But you want me to believe that fucking a country founded on liberty, rebellion, whatever you want to do for your history books, sided with a guy like fucking Biden that hid in his basement 6 months. And again, I'm not trying to sway you on the election. It is what it is. You want me to believe that most of this country said, yeah, I like that coward's idea. I like that coward that wants us to hide. That disturbs me. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't believe it. I just believe most of this country is like, but he's right. It's like, why do we go out and live our lives? Because we could die. You can't die. You can't die. And let me say this, and grab this soundbite if you want. If you die from COVID, thank God you were getting in the way. If you can't do so.
Yes, I feel very 70s or Scrooge. Decrease the surplus population.
I swear to God, it makes you believe. Oh, dude, the joke I do in my act, and indulge me, and I know you too well because you're too nice to me. The joke I say is, I'm like, do you think it started in a lab or when someone ate a bat? And no matter what they say, I go, whichever. I'm like, it definitely started in a lab. No one eats bats. Black people don't even eat bats, and those people love wings. So wow.
Was it an 8-minute bat? I mean,
that's your next shirt. But you got to continue it on to the back.
Oh, God bless you, Juliette. Because David, let me tell you something you don't know. I think he's great, but he's like a third base coach. No matter what you do, yeah, that'll work. Go.
You have no idea.
He's like, go. He's the best. I mean, we may have gotten so hammered that the asshole put a sticker on my back. It's so fun.
Just wait. We have more.
So much fun.
All right, I have one last this or that for the both of you.
Sure.
This is going to be a little tough for you, Geno, so buckle up there, Buttercup.
I'm out. What?
Yeah. Cumia versus Landau. Look at that face.
Uh-oh.
He's like, okay, where's my check
Who
going?
signs the paycheck?
No, watch me. Okay, obviously, if it's Cumia versus Landau, if you're asking me just person-wise, Cumia, because he's been so good to us, he gives us so much space to breathe. But Landau, I would pick because, and then I'll take my overall pick, because Landau really was that lifeline for Cumia, because Cumia is great at what he does. And he tried it alone, he was great. And he's like, let me add Artie for whatever reason. Some people say to add subs.
Whatever reason?
I mean, some people say to add subs, which I believe, and that didn't work. And other people say just to break it up because he got bored, which I also believe. But everything happens for a reason. And then he was doing it, and like Landau filled in one time, and that's how he fucking came to work with Landau, who I think is fucking
He's
great.
So
genius.
Good. He is the best co-host I've ever seen. He knows how to listen. Yes.
I didn't go on, Juliette. Yeah, he's such a good guy. He's so much fun, and he puts up with all. And he's a guy that like Kumia and me and myself are degenerates, and he's like so clean. And he's the kind of guy you could get hammered in front of. He doesn't care, but he's just a good dude. He's a good dude, and he's good for. He's like
and he's
all of us there.
Funny. I've seen his stand-up. He's outstanding.
Yeah, we saw him in Chicago not that long after you guys, actually.
This was bought in Wyoming. Go Josh Allen. Goes Bills. Because I'm a big fan. I snowboarded once in my life for a 3-day weekend at Jackson Hole in Wyoming. And I went there when Josh Allen was there. I was a big fan, but I love the outfit, and I kept it, and that's it. But go Cowboys. Go Josh Allen.
Well, we saw Dave Landau shortly after we saw you and Aaron in Chicago.
Wait, you met Dave Landau? He's such a terrible human being in real life. I mean, how did you put up with him?
Oh my God!
He's not one of the greatest people that's ever lived.
Yeah, after I put him in my pocket, we took him home with us because Dave was so nice to Juliette, and I'm like, okay, she has eyes.
She does. Sure.
No, he was awesome. He was awesome. Dave, he was super nice.
The other thing love about Dave is like we're all different acts, and he is so I love my act, but my act is a blunt instrument over your head repeatedly until you laugh. He's clever. He does that one joke where it's like, does anyone have? And I'm going to tell it wrong, and it's still going to be hilarious. It's like, anyone have that family in your neighborhood? They just can't stop showing you pictures of their kid. Here she is when she was 6 months old. And finally, you just say, look, they're never going to find her. And he says it in such, Dave, in such a deadpan way. Look, they're never going to find her. And you sit there like, you're so fucking funny. And he's like, too nice to me. He's like, yeah, I'm okay. You're wrong. You're hilarious. He's that guy. That's Dave.
That's just, I wish I could think like that. I love it. That's fantastic.
Dave on Anthony's show, because he's, it's basically the third chair because, Anthony always has guests on, or at least a lot of the times he has guests on. Yeah. And he becomes the third chair. He knows how to pick his spot and just murder with one line.
Oh yeah. And that's the gift.
That's a hard thing to do.
It's so difficult. Look, I'm important, but I'm very unimportant, and he nailed it. Yeah. But that's the thing about any
I thought you were an essential worker, is what I've been told. I have heard you're an essential worker.
I have a joke about essential workers. The last guy that made his essential workers wear masks was Hitler at Auschwitz, but that's because it was essential to get the job done. And that's the thing, we talk about it with our show all the time. Me and Berg, it's like, how do you and Berg know when to talk? Me and Berg, it's me, it's Aaron, it's Garrett and Steve in the booth. It's 4 guys just trying to crack the other 3 guys up, and yet somehow the other 3 know when to shut up for that 4th guy, and it's insanely fun. It's insanely fun what we get to get away with.
Your show is so perfect in that you've got this great balance. Like you said, you guys are just working off of each other, but you know how to play off of each other at the same time. It's hysterical.
Well, we're huge fans of you guys, right?
Well, guys, thank you so much, but you get it. And that's the thing. That's the biggest point of pride of it. That's the biggest point of pride for all of us. We know we don't act it. And we make fun because I'm at the chair. So they're like, why does Gene do that? I have the least to do with everything. But the fans get it. They're like, we're just 4 guys trying to crack the other 3 up. And the way it would not work if there was an ounce of insecurity. We make fun of Opie and Anthony because Opie was an idiot and it comes out. But there will never be a dark day in the history of the hot water. Look how jealous so-and-so was of the other 3. Because we sit there watching the other 3, losing our minds how much they make us laugh. And that's the beauty of our show that you stumble into and you look at it and you're like, because it's your show. And you're like, well, it's just our show. Then you're like, wow, we're really something. And I know that sounds arrogant, and it is, but we're really something for no other reason than.
And Geno's out. He was about to say we're really something, and I think the gods took offense.
Well, you know what? I think he's got to pay his cable bill.
That could be it. I saw his apartment. It's looking like he's wiring that from somebody else's house.
I'm sure he'll be back in a second.
Well, so while we have a moment, let me thank the people who've been hanging out in the chat. I see all of your comments going by, and I'm so sorry we haven't been able to get to you. I know Whiskey Ace is here, Guardian of Chaos. It's always awesome to see you. Malton in Montreal, you've had some zingers in there that I've deliberately ignored. What else have we got going on?
There's Geno Bisconte, which he's
fun
actually asked
name.
a lot of great questions, which I posted up there on top. You have Ralph's Trucking.
You might want to check that shot out, David, the producer. What's going on?
Yeah, here, hold on.
Could you fix that for me, please?
I'm fixing it. Hold, please.
David, the producer, is not pressing the right buttons. But while we're at it,
we lost Geno, and that's why you see this.
Okay, there we go, y'all. I know some of my whiskey buddies have been here. I saw Mad Kiwi here. Anthony Redneck Way of Life is here. Elder.
Mad Kiwi.
Gamer is here also. And is Geno coming back
Geno
in?
Back on.
I swear to God, it's like I plugged my thing in right here, and then I'm like, oh, it wasn't plugged in here. And my phone, I'm sorry, my laptop just died. I apologize. Let me finish what I was saying. Don't trust the Jews or the coloreds. All right. Now, what was it? What?
You were talking about how genius you are, and somebody decided it just wasn't worth listening to.
I'm not kidding. It's that simple. It's the four of us, and we're so lucky to crack each other up. And that's the show. That's when we went dead. It was. I'd love to have 20 minutes of intelligent shit to say you missed, but you didn't. You didn't. I said knock knock to get to the other side 5 times while the laptop was unhinged. I'm sorry.
That's an entirely
knock,
different
who's
show.
There? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we get that.
Off.
Whatever, David.
Hey, you know what? I do have to
when
tell
the laptop goes dead, I sit there like, you stupid. It's like you pull the thing, you're like, oh yeah, this wasn't. And you're like, I'm so dumb, and you laugh. And you're like, well, they're dumb enough to have me on. This is their fault. I blame you two. I do.
No, it's totally our fault. We knew this going in, and that's why I was on the phone. I'm like, okay, let me just send him the link one more time. I was waiting for a cat emoji to appear on screen.
Well, and Juliette, we don't want to keep Geno from his MySpace show tonight, so we want to make sure
that he does a very
waste the gold on me, David. Come on, and thank you for moving the show up an hour. It's like, let me go over the rest of the week. Nothing, but of course, between 8 and 9 tonight, I have 2 things. That's how the world works.
By the
way, is that Zoom show a pay show?
Oh yeah, big money, like upwards of $50. I mean, what the whoa?
Wow.
Hey, do you want to? Well, go ahead and promote it, please. Yeah, we got a bunch of people here. People that want to see you live tonight.
Private birthday party thing. I don't even know how Zoom works publicly. This is just a private birthday party type thing.
I got it. Okay.
Well, in that case,
I feel sorry for that 9-year-old.
But tell your friends. Follow Geno Bisconte or whatever. Go to GenoBisconte.com. It's got all our shows. If you're in Jersey, we're in AC. And trust me, I'm coming. I know you guys think I'm just saying it. Trust me, I'm coming to New Orleans soon, and you guys are stuck with me for that whole drunken weekend, whether you like it or not.
Warning in advance. Don't just show up on the doorstep.
Nope. Juliette, David, tell her I just show up. Tell her that's the bit. Tell her,
David,
please.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're ready for you.
Before you go, Geno, I do want to get these, the merch out again, because I swear people just have to go out and get this. So here, this is our favorite shirt from In Hot Water.
Absolutely.
You got to get the shirt. COVID is the blue with the.
And I'm telling you, the guy, our fan that does the artwork, Matt Miller guy, he sent that because I always say they sent that, and I'm like, oh my God. First, it was this sticker, and then I'm like, it's a t-shirt. It's also a hoodie now, and it's just inhotwaterstore.com. And I'll say this, and it's like therapy, thank God. They're like, well, you're just a grifter. I'm like, there's nothing I say that I don't believe. Our fans love the merch. We have that. We have another one that's a takeoff for the fans of me just going, this guy gets it. Because whenever I used to do a joke on the show, even before when the world was normal, and 2 people would laugh, I'd point at the booth or the people, they're going to be like, this guy gets it. Like, the merch is great. We're so lucky to be able to do what we do, but just keep supporting guys like us. You guys are the best. I love this. You know, I'm huge fans. Just keep supporting shit like this because it's fucking fun and it's a light at the end of the insane tunnel that, trust me, when they fucking let us live our lives again, we'll still be doing this because we were smart enough to be like, look, people like this no matter what, no matter when, and this is what we're good at, you know?
Well, we know
Geno,
that,
yes.
between you and Aaron with the show, everyone's got to go to Compound Media. You sign up. We signed up specifically, and believe me, we love Anthony. We love Anthony in a big way. But we signed up to Compound Media based on you and Berg.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was the first thing we did.
You got to do it. So
we have fun, but the guys, we get that a lot. Like, look, we came for this, but we stayed for you, and we're like, and you heard me. It's like we're dumb. Our show is so stupid, and it's the most brilliant thing ever. And like when people like you and Juliette, they would say, "Yeah, we say for you," and I'm just like, "Of course you did. You're idiots," and I mean that in the best. You're idiots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he gets to end on. How great is that?
I can't thank you enough for joining us, Geno. It's always
I've been
a
in shit
treat.
mood all night. I apologize. I don't enjoy hanging out with either of you. The sticker, Dave. There's gonna be a fucking one of these on your back next time. You fucking
yes.
I had a feeling.
You're the best.
Geno, we love you. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Bye-bye, Geno. So, David, the producer.
Yes.
That was fun.
Oh, we love Geno.
Geno is always just a blast. Now, remember, you can catch him on Compound Media. He hosts In Hot Water along with Aaron Berg. It is just a treat. It is off the rails, so much fun. And Geno is going to be in Atlantic City coming up this weekend with the comedians of the Compound Show. Now, you have been watching Bourbon Soaked Live, and we've had a ton of people hanging out with us in the chat. I see that our friends from Gutting the Sacred Cow are in the chat as well. It's awesome to see you hanging out with us tonight. As well, we've had Mama Redneck. Toyman was here earlier. I can't really see my chat right now.
You see Mama Redneck, you got Toyman, you got Gana is here as well. Swami, you got Geno Bisconte, which I think is the best name ever.
Yes.
You got Ev Caesar 2112, and you got to go up here. And of course, Guardian of Chaos.
Now, we can't have Bourbon Soaked Live without talking just for a couple of minutes about what we're drinking. And I just want to call out that tonight I am drinking Knob Creek 100 proof bourbon. And it is just heavenly, y'all. This is what bourbon really is supposed to taste like right out of the barrel. This is a very high corn bourbon. It's like 70% corn. So it gives it a far more mellow, sweet flavor than you would expect for something that's 100 proof. It is amazing. Just delightful. How about you, David, the producer? What are you thinking about it?
I love this cocktail, by the way. I will take a little bit more Knob Creek, by the way. Hey, a little bit for the producer.
Oh, please, y'all. I know he's back there doing things, apparently.
And by the way, like this video, share it on social media.
It's not fucking hard, people. Press the like button. It's a little thumbs up.
And subscribe to the channel if you dig it. So
please.
Geno's awesome. We love it. And by the way, if you look at the catalog on Juliette's page on YouTube, you'll see interviews from Anthony Cumia, from Dave Landau
is also on there. And they are both part of, obviously,
and also
Compound
Don
Media.
Jameson and a whole bunch of people from Compound. Oh, and
David,
of course,
the producer,
Bill and Joe. I'm sorry.
I have not had Don Jameson on. No.
Oh, did I?
No, you didn't either.
Oh my God. No, I set that up for someone else.
Quiet. David, the producer, is a little crazy right now. No. I've had Anthony Cumia and Dave Landau on. Anthony Cumia twice, actually. He is delightful to talk to and so fucking smart. And I apologize for not saying you when we were asked Cumia versus Landau. However, I can't thank y'all enough for watching us tonight. Make sure you check out my podcast. It is called The Unwritable Rant. It is bourbon soaked storytelling. It is far more coherent than this show is.
True.
Thank you for laughing when I say that.
Yeah.
So, y'all, I'll be back next Monday night at our regularly scheduled time, which is 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, cheers, y'all.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.